Aphrodite was immortalized in stone for her beauty, but beauty is so much more than what's on the outside. Each and every one of us lives on in the beautiful moments when our lives touch each other, a lasting and timeless mark to be lovingly carried on in memory forever. What's beauty to me, you ask? Is you, being completely and utterly yourself, breaking through the mold to be your own timeless beauty. Jumping right in, we are starting with primer. I am putting this all over my face and chest so our makeup holds all day. To show where we are breaking through that marble, I am using some downward stippling motions to apply my foundation. We are going to be using a lot of this NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk, so prepare yourself. I am drawing out where I am breaking through the marble and then just filling in. Now check yourself out with a beard. Ooh, work it, work it. Make sure to get nice and right under that weave, girl. I've been doing body painting for a little over a year now, and I don't think I will ever get used to putting product into my armpit. It's not my favorite sensation. Yeah, no, I will never get used to that sensation. Go ahead and use your fingers to blend out the Jumbo Milk pencil just so that it's nice and blended, because the pencil can leave it looking a little streaky. Now for our fabulous contour, we are using this plum shade just to get right under where the cheekbones are and to take it into our temples and onto our forehead. Statues have very intense bone structures that really show through with the marble, so we want to achieve that with makeup. We want the eyes to be a little sunken in, and we are going to start contouring the nose. If you mess up like I just did, just cover it up. Pretend it didn't even happen. What mess up? I do want her to have a cute little button nose, so I am taking the contour shade and just making the nose appear smaller by shading the outside and shading just a bit on the top. This look is pretty much all about dimension and adding in shadow where there should be some. So anywhere that would have a little bit of darkness from the light, go ahead and put the darker eyeshadow on top. Okay, don't judge my faces, alright? I gotta do them to make my bones pop out a little more. We're just gonna contour the collarbones so those stick out nice. Mine don't stick out very well because I got some meat on my bones, but if you do all these weird faces, you can really accentuate them with some eyeshadow. Start off light and just work your way to the darker shades. To darken up our Aphrodite even more, I am taking black eyeshadow, and you want to darken up just a few select areas, mainly under the cheekbones, a little bit under the lips, and some on the collarbones. This part's very simple, just drawing out where I am going to have my toga. If you watch any of my other videos, you know I'm all about that dimension life. So our marble is going to be cracked, and you know how marble has those beautiful streaks of other color in it? We gonna do that. We can't stop just here. Yes, I am a dimension fiend. Go ahead and start drawing in where this marble is. Look at a reference picture if you want. When I first started drawing this, I was kind of looking at a reference picture of how real marble looks when it's cracked and broken apart. It has all these organic pieces. So I'm basically using the part where I'm breaking through as a starting point and drawing the cracks and little pieces off of that. Just have fun with it. That's something that's great about this look, is it doesn't have to be exact. You can put the cracks and pieces of marble wherever you see fit. Now we're going to start shading and adding a little bit of contrast to these cracks in the marble. Essentially what we're trying to achieve here is to make this look as three-dimensional as possible. So essentially if there was an indentation in the marble, naturally some shadow would be cast inside of that crack. So mainly, you'll want to keep the black shadow towards the top of the crack, because that's where the most of the shadow and contrast would be, and just blend it out a little bit. Now onto our beautiful toga. We are going to start drawing in where the little ruffles and ripples of the fabric will be. And then we are going to blend those out so we don't have extremely harsh lines. This is also a perfect time if you wanted to look at a reference picture, because fabric is all about movement, especially with this toga we're going for. So you want to create movement with the toga, and by adding shadow and highlight through it, adding shadow underneath where those ripples of fabric would be. Just like we did earlier in the marble, you're doing the exact same thing with the fabric. The only thing really different about this is that you want it blended out very well, especially even with the highlights. We want to add a little bit of highlight on some certain areas to really pop through some of those pieces of fabric. Our little marble design wouldn't stop at the toga, so I am just drawing little lines on top of it, but I am keeping them a little soft. I don't want to go too intense because I want the toga to really still show through. This part is essentially so that the toga and the marble skin do not meld together. We want them to be completely separated. The NYX Jumbo Milk Pencil is essentially cream, and we didn't set it yet because blending the black eyeshadow into it makes it gray and makes it very easy to blend on top of. So it's great when we're trying to make this realistic shadow. For the lips, I just added a little bit of a peachy pink eyeshadow onto our cracked, breaking through skin. We would be using a matte brown shadow and pretty much doing what we were doing earlier, adding in some contrast because naturally the marble would create a little bit of shadow onto our skin color. We don't want to use black because that would be way too sharp, so going with a brown works perfectly. Since this portion is all about being yourself, I kept my eyebrows really light. I don't have much going on in the eyebrow department, but I just wanted to add a little bit of color to them to make them a little more intense. I also have to have a little bit of shimmer on my eyelid too because this girl loves her shimmer. If you know me, you know that I love my wing liner, and I wanted to do wing liner because it really does help to lift up the eye, look a little more open, give us that beautiful cat eye shape, so I wanted to do that on both sides of my eyes. Just so that it's nice and cohesive, we are going to go ahead and smoke out that liquid liner a little bit on the bottom and just go about halfway to your eye. Now for the highlighting. Highlighting is basically just as important as shadow to make your look really look three-dimensional. Basically, a good general rule to remember is that to every shadow, there's a highlight. So just like there's shadow into the indentions of the marble, there would also be a highlight as well on the actual marble. I guess basically what I like to do is think of this realistically. Think of what actually happens with marble, what actually happens when there is a light source put down on it. There would be shadow here, there would be highlight here. Just try to focus on the realism of what it would actually be. I'm going to put on some black mascara on top and bottom lashes of my beautiful real self portion. I gotta pop in this white contact so I look super statuesque on one side. Since I did one side black, naturally, I want to do the other side white. So I am using the white liquid liner to just coat my lashes on top and bottom. For our eyes to look even more open and intense, I am putting a little bit of white liner on the waterline, and then I went ahead and popped on some lashes. They are the exact same pair, but with the white side, I just coated them in the white liquid liner beforehand. So that your makeup stays all day, go ahead and set it very well, and you are done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please do show your support to Yo Top 30. If I earned your vote, you can vote 3 times a day per email from May 29th to June 5th, 2015, obviously. So if you want to see me up there, do vote for me, please. I could use every single vote. I've been doing makeup for a little over a year, so even being in this top 30 and being considered for top 20 and on is so insane to me. I'm proud of myself, and I am so proud of the other top 30 for duking it out for the challenges. They are going to be super exciting, and I hope I can participate in the next one. So my final challenge to you guys is to go out and break that mold and be your own timeless beauty. Be confident and be completely yourself, because being beautiful is being exactly who you are.